You know that feeling when you're watching a K-drama and you just know the subtitles aren't telling you the whole story? Like there's this whole vibe you're missing out on? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to fix. We're using the amazing show Weightlifting fairy Kim Bok Joo to unlock the real meaning behind the words. Okay, let's get into it. I mean, that's the big question, right? That feeling that something gets lost in translation. And hey, it's not about bad translations. It's about culture and context and this energy that a simple line of text just can't always capture. So yeah, today we're going to bridge that gap. And we're going to be looking at phrases just like this one. Now, if you look this up, it literally means you do many things. But trust me, in the show, it means something completely different. We're going to circle back to this little gem later, so keep it in the back of your mind. First up, let's start with a big one. This isn't just a word, you guys. It's a really profound cultural concept that shapes how characters and, real people in Korea see their relationships. We're talking about In-yeon. So picture this. A friendly doctor says this to Bok Joo. The subtitle might say something like, "We must be fated to meet," or maybe, "We have some connection." And yeah, that's correct. But it's really just scratching the surface of a much, much bigger idea. So at its most basic level, a dictionary would tell you In-yeon means fate or destiny. Simple enough. But the feeling, the vibe of In-yeon is so much deeper than that. See, In-yeon isn't just about meeting your one true soulmate. The real vibe is this belief that even just brushing sleeves with a stranger on the street creates a layer of connection. It suggests that all our encounters, big or small, are part of this huge cosmic web. And this whole idea of an invisible red thread connecting people who are destined to find each other, it's such a powerful, romantic theme you'll see all over Korean storytelling. It's beautiful, right? Okay, so let's shift from the cosmic to the competitive. Our next phrase is all about that passion, that intensity, and that all or nothing attitude when you're facing a challenge. Just listen to the intensity in that line. A subtitle might say something like, "Try to go up with all your might." And again, it's not wrong, but the original Korean phrase, man, it hits with the force of a speeding train. And here's why. Juk-gi Sal-gi-ro literally translates to do something by dying or living. It's a complete do or die mentality. It's not just about trying hard. It's about pouring every single ounce of your being into something, as if your actual survival depends on it. And this chart just lays it out perfectly. Trying hard is great, that's the 75% bar. But Juk-gi Sal-gi-ro, it is completely off the charts. We're talking 110%, with actual flames coming off the top. It perfectly captures that unique Korean fighting spirit, that fiery determination you see everywhere, from athletes and students to our favorite K-drama heroes. All right, let's switch gears and talk about how friends really talk to each other. We're going to look at two phrases that are just packed with sarcasm, personality, and that playful swag that makes the dialogue in this show so incredibly fun. Okay, so in this scene, someone is pointing out how competitive Bok Joo is being. The line could be translated as expected from an athlete. It's basically a teasing way of saying, wow, you are being so predictable right now. The key pattern here is 아니나 다를까? You use it when you see something that totally confirms a stereotype or an expectation you already had. It's like a verbal eye roll that just says, yep, that is exactly what I thought you do.
Aha! And here it is, the phrase from the very beginning. In this clip, Junyoung says this to Bok Joo, and you can just hear the teasing, kind of exasperated tone in his voice. So are you ready for what it literally means?
See, you're doing many things. By itself, that means absolutely nothing. This is the perfect example of why subtitles, as great as they are, can't always capture the real flavor of a conversation. Okay, so this is the crucial difference. 아니나 다를까 is when you're pointing out someone's predictable, stereotypical behavior. But Yeoreo-gaji handa, that's for calling someone out for their unpredictable, over-the-top, totally unnecessary actions. It is the perfect Korean equivalent of saying, wow, you are really being extra right now, or you're doing the most. It's such a classic witty job to use with your friends. So we've decoded destiny, determination, and some seriously good, friendly smack talk. I want you to think of these not just as new vocabulary words, but as a new lens, a whole new filter you can use to watch and understand your favorite dramas on a way deeper level.
So let's do a super quick recap. We've got In-yeon, not just fate, but a cosmic connection. Juk-gi Sal-gi-ro, Not just trying hard, but a full-on do-or-die effort. Ani narilka, for pointing out the obvious stereotype. And of course, Yeoreo-gaji handa, the perfect comeback for when someone is being totally extra. You've gone from the literal meaning to the real vibe. You're officially in on the secret now.
So the next time you're watching a show, just listen a little closer. When you hear these phrases pop up, you won't just understand the subtitle, you'll get the feeling, the culture, and the relationship behind the words. What other phrases have you heard that made you wonder what was really going on? Anyway, thanks so much for watching this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.